Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I decided, because there was such a large number of you, let's see, I'll get my list, that instead of doing individual concerts like I usually do, because there's usually only a couple people, but it's like 15, which I think is amazing. So instead of me, rushing to record in the minute that Twitter or Facebook lets me record and rush through it, I just thought, well, I'll just do like a mini concert and say hello to everyone and to send it out. And thank you for your patience in this. Full disclosure, I am navigating, coming on Tuesday will be week 5 from symptoms from getting infected with COVID, and my fatigue is still fairly high, so that's also part of this delay. But today's been a good day, so we savor those moments when they come. And I think I'm going to showcase 4 songs, maybe 5, and you can stop at any time. You don't need to watch this whole thing, but if it makes you happy, then by all means enjoy it, because Lord knows we can use as much joy as we can in a world that just feels painful all the time. So here's my quick shout out to everyone who I'm creating this for, so know that you're in my head and you're in my thoughts as I share this. So Tara, Larry, Kathy, Sarah, Melissa, Karen, Kelly, Chris, Maggie, Amber, Kai, Aaron, Amy, and Cassie. And if there's somebody else I miss, I apologize. But so let me introduce you to Stella. This is Stella. Stella was, see, you're gonna get like behind the scenes history and a little like accordion lesson now. I picked up the accordion at the very start of the pandemic because I had my grandpa's little 12 bass and thought it might be something fun. There's a story about how I got connected with like one of the world's best players, but that's for another day. And realized that the 12 bass, which are these keys, having only 12 limited me to what songs I could play. And so I found this one on a Goodwill site. I actually bought quite a few, but you can imagine that accordions are actually quite fragile. They don't seem like it, but they're quite finicky instruments. And so a couple came broken that I won't be able to fix, or it's not worth getting fixed. But she came, and she's a beaut, and this is who I play with. I think of her. So here's your quick introduction to a piano keyboard accordion. There's 3 different parts that I'm thinking about. And I want you to pay attention to. So we have our bass side. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's this nice little diamond there. That's what tells me on my C note. And then it's all organized by fifths. So, get my hand in the proper position. C, and G, and D, and A, and E, and so on and so forth. And then we go down. It's F, B flat, E flat, A flat, and then up here, I know like my second row is my main chord, my third row is major, my 4th row up is minor, then it's 7th, and then it's diminished. This is more information, so for people who just want to get to the songs, just like skip ahead. Then I have my keyboard. This is just like a traditional piano keyboard, only I'm obviously playing vertically. And then the most important part is our bellows. This is what gives it sound. So accordion's actually a woodwind instrument because there's individual reeds for each individual thing. So, okay, I'll start off with just a really simple one. Now, here's the thing. I may be venturing into, advanced beginner stage. I don't know that I would consider myself an intermediate player yet, but all of the books that you learn on are like 1950s Americana songs. So I'll try my best to play some fun songs, but I mean, there's only so much She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain that anyone needs to hear at any given time. So I want to just show a little bit of an assortment of music that can play. So I'll share some that I learned a while ago. I'm going to share a few that I'm working on now. And then I'm going to end on my favorite, which you'll see how much fun I have playing, and hopefully that'll brighten your day as well. So, all right. So the first one, you'll notice that I have these keys, or these buttons. These control the sound, so like this is an accordion sound. And then I can make it sound like a bassoon. And then a bandian. And then an organ. and then a clarinet, and then a little oboe, and then my favorite, which I don't play with, but I just think it's so sweet, a little piccolo. Okay, so we'll do this one just in a normal key. There's a couple songs that I'll switch between just because it's part of the tonality. All right, so the first one, this was the first, what felt like the first real song I learned that made me feel like I was playing a song and not just doing some. So it's an oldie, Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes, so you might recognize it. Okay. Also, FYI, I actually don't enjoy, I love playing for people, but I get really nervous, so I'll probably like mess up and that's all okay. All right. So that's pretty basic. What's really cool about the accordion is there's lots of tones and types of music. I mean, we obviously associate with like polka. So here's like a really simple beginner march that you learn called the Big Band March. So we'll do this on bandian. Let me try that over. And then if we want to head up to the clarinet just for fun. I'm trying to keep my thigh from not hitting this. Okay, so here we go. I promise I know how to play this. Okay, so that's like some fun beginners. You can also play some really beautiful classical music. So the one that I'm working on, which is the last song in my book for book 2, my goal is to be done with book 2 by the end of July, is the Danube Waves from Ivanovici. Let's see. Can't see, but I'm moving up to my E7th. All right, you ready? You'll probably recognize this song, actually. There's a nice little, and then we go to the G7th again. I'm just learning the. So, just going to be beautifully, perfectly imperfect for you all. Okay, so a really classic classic song. It's called the Merry Widow Waltz. And it's just lovely. I was pretty excited to learn this one. I mean, I don't have it memorized yet, but I've come quite a ways on it. So go to clarinet. This is just a nice slow waltz. So here we go. Got a nice little glissando at the end. It's a technical term. You go like chord to chord. Okay. This is all too long. It's 11 minutes. If you're still with me, send me a note and tell me that this was all okay. If I'm being honest, like things have been challenging just because of the world, because of health, and it feels really good to be with you, and it feels really good to laugh, and I know you all well enough to know that, and I hope you're, joining me in this joy and the silliness and me not playing right and all of that. But so even though it's imperfect, I appreciate this opportunity to step into some lightness with you. Okay. Again, another one I'm just learning. Is a beautiful classic Irish song, My Wild Irish Rose. So here we go. Yeah, so I'm trying to learn some more modern or well-known songs, but it's a little tricky. So like working on Somewhere Out There by American Tail, which isn't modern at all, but for those of us who are, from the 80s. I also know a number of you had reached out and just said that, you're having a tough time, and sometimes music can be really powerful. So let me play a little bit of this one so we can maybe meet you where you're at, and then I'll move you on to my favorite, which is Golden Slippers. All right. So kids of the 80s, you might recognize this song. it goes on. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. So here's my favorite song. We're now at 15 minutes. I'm just going to be with it and hope that this brings some joy. All right. This is actually, I mean, in full disclosure, this is really good practice for me. You're not actually here, but in my brain you're here, and it's really good practice for me, so thank you. Okay, here's my favorite song of all time to play, called Golden Slippers, and you'll see why in a second. Then we switch over to bandian, so we want to add some meat to it. Love to you all. Have a really great Sunday. Send me a message if any of this made sense, brought you joy. Send me a message if you want it to be taken off the private concert list going forward. But I hope you're all well. I hope that you are resting. I hope you are finding moments to create moments of joy because we deserve it and we need it. And love to you all. Bye, everyone.